We'll have to see what they have on the docket for picks and bans and how much that homework is really going to come into play. Sometimes we'll hear teams, you know, even when they go up against one of their hardest matches, they say, we ban what they think they want to play, and we're solely picking what is comfortable. It's not an extreme composition. We're not going to all take off and fly in from space and end the game. It's just comfort plays, and that comes out a lot for professional players, more than not.
Yeah, the Vayne, no surprise there. One thing I don't think Curse are going to ban out is the Karthus, because if Hotshot wants to play that again, they'll be all for it. If they want to use that Karthus passive all day. Be my guest. They actually take out the Xerath, though. That was actually something that Link did use, and they really use the long-range poke that he can have to burst someone down and then take an objective. Even if they aren't able to land a kill, they can force someone back with all of that very long range, catching someone out.
So I see Cop maybe taking Caitlyn here, trying to take it away from Doublelift and really force Doublelift into some other play here. Obviously, he has his MF. We'll see. That Jarvan is going to come out first pick, though, and I think that's one of the first Jarvans we're seeing today. That
was a very sneaky last ban by Curse, the Urgot. So Doublelift has been saying like, oh, I wasn't expecting all these Vayne bans. I better practice something else. Looks like Curse have done their homework, and they think the go-to backup AD carry for Doublelift was that Urgot, so they take out both of them, and we might see him returning to that Caitlyn pick that he's so comfortable on.
Yeah, well, that's why I say, you know, Curse, take that away, like right now. We've seen a lot of Varus as well come in. This will really be what's next in Doublelift's champion pool. What is he going to be able to play for us? Voyboy and St. Vicious now to lock in. Looks like Voy may actually be locking in himself. He's not talking too much with others. And it's going to be a slow lock-in indeed.
They're all looking very pensive right now, waiting till the end of the timer here to finally get their picks. Saint might be returning to that Xin style we talked about in the very beginning. He picked it a lot when it was available, and even after those little balance changes, taking off some damage of the ultimate, reducing or increasing the cooldown of both the ultimate and the audacious charge, he's still going to go back to it and pick him up again.
I like the Xin Zhao pick, especially with the Jarvan. When you dump in, you can really get a good peel if you just sweep everybody back out. You're like, nope, we'll just chill in here for a second with my AD carry.
He'll enter the arena himself and knock everyone back. That's fine. He'll take the challenge. Link hovering over the Eve, which was an interesting ban against them that we saw earlier in the day. And it was mostly because Link played a whole bunch of
25 plus ranked games.
Solo. Yeah, he was in solo queue playing it a bunch. A lot of CLG members were kind of laughing because that wasn't really part of the team strategy, but it was.
Scar came out to us and he's like, they drew that from solo queue picks. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. So you can see Curse have been doing some research, just paying attention to the solo queue. But if these teams don't really leave those breadcrumbs lying around in solo queue history, like anyone can look up the solo queue matches. That's why we see it a lot, even when teams do practices against each other, when they scrim each other, they'll leave the game before the end of the game so it doesn't save their champion history, and they don't leave those keys to their strategy up.
Absolutely. So we do see the Lulu pick coming in with Chowster. So it looks like CLG is going for the let's figure out some guys that can poke. We'll leave Doublelift on the backside to shred the team, and somebody's going to be in there to finalize the kills. We'll have to see what the pick is.
Looks like all the research that we did is paying off. The Xin Sao picked, the Lulu picked. Those are two of them that we called out, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, research.
props to the guys in the back. Elise coming out. So this patch is the patch where she got balanced a little bit as well. Damage off of her human form Q. The base damage, a little bit was transferred to her spider farm Q, so that it kind of forces you, if you want to trade really effectively, getting in a lot closer. And they also reduced the range on her human form Q, so it's a little bit of changes there. So you just have to get a little bit more close and personal.
So we see Voyboy has played this before, but everybody is, and Elements is one to try new things.
Elements is definitely one to try new things.
But that's going to be Voyboy taking Sona top, unfortunately.
If Voyboy's Sona top, that would be interesting. Voyboy also tries a lot of new things, but I think he'll be using his go-to Spider Lady. He's always really happy with that. And like we always say, it's great against 2 vs 1 tower dives.
It really is.
3 vs 1 tower dives. So they could be looking to switch up lanes with a pick like that Elise.
The Cho'Gath pick is actually quite interesting, because I was thinking, who are they going to get who can stick to not having a lot of health but still build tanky because you're against Elise? But
yeah, what's a hotshot champion?
What's a hotshot champion?
The Cho'Gath is definitely a hotshot champion.
They lock that in. Elements here, pondering, very in a ponderous moment. And it looks like he is taking his time. The team's last pick, 40 seconds on this one, Kobe. They're looking at pretty much not a lot of super early game pressure. you know, they're going to be quite safe in lanes. You're not going to have a Cho'Gath in your face running around the map really early. So it's going to be a farm fest on that side, but we'll see if St. Vicious can do as he pleases, get that first blood as he does, have probably the hand in most first bloods. I'm kind of throwing that out there because he has been so active in the early part of the game from the jungle.
Interested to see Cop's take on Varus too, because we just saw Wild Turtle's take, and he was just outstanding.
Yeah.
He farmed up really well, like Kiwi said. Like, that game was really all about Wild Turtle. He had the Infinity Edge very early, backed it up with crit and armor pen, and he was putting out a whole bunch of damage from the back lines. So we'll have to see if Cop can do that, because that's really Cop's play style too. We said he likes to be safe in the back lines, throwing everything down, and it really shows in that outstanding KDA. I think it's up to like 18 now.
And then he went like 7-1 and something in his last 5-1 something in his last game. Yeah. But we look back over at Counter Logic Gaming. They did get the composition kind of that they wanted. The Link can throw in AoE spells from the backside. They can get the soften up from both Twitch and Lux, finalize with that final spark.
And it's interesting, Chaucer's returned to a little bit more of a carry jungler. We were talking about the bruisers that were ever so popular. He's gone with another threat. So if he could be more threatening than CLG is used to, usually they just have, you know, Link and double lift. And he's, again, going back to his comfort zone, he's picking that teleport. That's a great tool to have on Hotshot, because even when he doesn't have it, he kind of returns to those tendencies. We're talking about farming side lanes and split pushing and stuff, so it's great to have that good answer for Jackie's teleport, because if you have one of those early game and the other team doesn't have any global pressure, then you can essentially turn around the first gank and turn that into a 3v3, which could turn out poorly for the aggressor.
All right, we'll have to see. On to Summoner's Rift for your last matchup of today. We have more LCS coming tomorrow in Europe and both North America. So many games this weekend, and they have been so great so far. If you didn't see some of the EU ones, make sure you check them out after the cast, obviously, and then watch all the new ones that are going to happen. Right now, our final match is Curse versus Counter Logic Gaming. If you're just joining us, I am so sorry, because there has been some awesome action here. Rivington the Third and Kobe to bring you this last game. And Kobe, looks like everybody's playing it safe here.
Yeah, it's interesting. After the last game, there are no elixirs in this game, so nobody's gonna have that surprise boost of health, or even that blue elixir that we see sometimes, bursting up the AP and the cooldown reduction. So it looks like it will be a bit more tame early game here, and they're gonna do the 2-versus-1 switch. So we're gonna have that Void Boy on his very comfortable champion, the Elise, and he does have a ward of his own, so he can ward reduction. So it looks like it will be a bit more tame early game here, and they're gonna do the 2-versus-1 switch. So we're gonna have that Void Boy on his very comfortable champion, the Elise, and he does have a ward of his own, so he can ward up and look for the early 3-minute gank, so he doesn't get 3-man dove. And there he does place that ward.
It looks like both tops were kind of reading that out. You see Hotshot bought 2 wards for himself. They knew the 2v1 was coming in, and they bought up for it right off the bat.
A lot of extra mana potions also brought by Void Boy, so I'm expecting some ranged farming from him, trying to use his abilities to grab some CS instead of putting himself in harm's way.
So that's easily considered. If we see a lot of mana potions on a top, you're going to want to farm with that.
Definitely, and it makes it a lot easier that he does have 2 forms. When he goes ranged, he'll be able to use that, and he can also jump into Spider for ganks. Not only is Spider form great because you can repel out of ganks, you can go invulnerable for 2 seconds because you are untargetable, but if you want to set something up, he can gain a lot of distance with that if your jungler does combine and you want to turn that 2-versus-1 lane into a first blood.
We'll see if Nijaki can play this one right. That shield on Orianna can usually get you into some good auto attack range, but you have to be careful as well. Link playing his damage well in mid. St. Vicious now over to his blue buff by himself. Looks like he's going to get no help on this, but should have enough to go down to that bottom lane that's quite pushed up for him right now.
So every time that we do have these 2-versus-1 switches, there's usually a lot of pressure from the support, at least going to check on the blue buff of the jungler. And Elements went in there. He just dropped a ward, though, because that's where Chaucer started. And Chaucer, actually, right after the red buff, he's got double buffs, and he's heading that one off. If they do start this up and actually push in on the turret, then he'll be a little bit late. Void Boy shouldn't get caught off guard too easily here unless everyone flashes at him. It looks like Chaucer just waiting in the bush, though.
So Saint actually just knowing the wave, realizing that he'd have the time to get there still, and he actually plans it perfectly. Great play there by St. Vicious, and he completely thwarts a possible first blood.
Yep, Afro taking a little bit of damage there from the turrets. Voyboy didn't take too much harass either, so there's more aggression in mid lane.
Oh, Link so low. Those auto attacks stacking. He throws down the ward, but he can't get the damage out. There it is. The dissonance does not do enough, actually negated by the shield. Where you can see junglers now almost meeting a dragon.
Jackie also didn't want to go too aggressive there. They both still have their flashes.
Yeah.
These mid lanes don't want to burn their flashes early because that would open them up. Like we said, both of these junglers very aggressive early game gankers. So whichever mid lane burns their flash first is going to have to play a lot more defensively and will start losing out on that CS.
It just adds to what these junglers tell us all the time when we ask them, what are you guys looking for early game? It's for our jungler to make moves because we're just trying to hold the lanes and make that a win for ourselves. So it's up to the junglers right now. And like you said, on aggressive ones, we'll be sure to see some action.
So Hotshot has already burned his teleport to get back to lane, but look at the pressure on his turret. It's taken a lot more damage than Voyboy's turret has. Because both junglers went bottom and St. Vicious was able to help Voyboy clear out that wave, they're actually ahead in turret life right now, and Cop gonna just continue the aggression on Hotshot.
Level 5 Link looking to go bottom, knows that Voyboy with vision has backed off from that turret, and we actually have St. Vicious coming up top. Everybody's really playing the 3v1 safe. I think this is the first time that both lanes are kind of not dying to that initial 3v1.
Yeah, so nobody died this time either, but they are going to take both turrets. It looks like they're happy to trade.
Hotshot getting a little bit of aggression here from Saint. He's moving in through him. He loses the red buff though, so no reason to continue with that attack. They're going to get the gold on this turret and make sure they can stop that or get the advance on the bottom.
So it's one turret for one turret, but CLG have the vision on Dragon. They've got a pink ward over here, so it looks like they're actually going to move into it right now. Everybody has plenty of health, and there's no one from Curse to come around. That's a win for CLG.
Yeah, Hotshot was coming back to lane. They had vision of both Cop and Elements backing, so they can take this quite easily. Gonna have Link to come down to give it some shield off here that doesn't really hit anybody.
He was very happy with that because, like you said, he doesn't usually win 1 versus 1 anyway, so 1 versus 2 is fine. He'll take a beating, he'll just CS.
Chowster. Wow, that was actually pretty close getting the shield there from Lulu. Chowster makes it out with a sliver of health, but they pick up a bit of a gold lead there. 1,000 gold in their favor. Spread across, it really does not mean much for the whole team. They're no more than 200 some gold up on each lane right now. Everybody's got their buys in. It's going to be a quick BF sword actually coming out for double lift. So again, we're seeing these 80 carries just rush the damage.
Yeah, and Voidboy right now getting up to that lane, just bullying Hotshot back. Hotshot's out of mana, so he's going to recall. We'll have to see if Voidboy wants to just CS and keep this wave at his turret because it's totally pushed. He can keep it there and force Hotshot to go somewhere else and try and take advantage of the 1 versus 1 matchup that most people, just based on the players, would give to Voidboy.
Hotshot is actually returning to lane here. It looks like they're going to try to push something down. He knows he's not going to go head-to-head versus Voidboy top, but they're going to try to get this mid-turret right now.
They're definitely going to look to put some pressure here. It looks like Xin Zhao anticipated Hotshot actually returning to the lane. That's not something Hotshot's going to even do if it's just Voidboy. He's scared. If Xin Zhao's up there too, there's no way he's going back up there.
That was actually pretty funny. Saint saw him as soon as he was in mid and said, nope, I'm not getting a gank out of this. Nijaki forced to pretty much just use that utility to save himself mid. Oh my gosh, getting burst down and completely feasted on. First blood from Counter Logic Gaming.
Great job by CLG playing to their strengths right there. Hotshot, not a 1 versus 1 player. He doesn't go back to that 1 versus 1 lane. He goes mid. They get a nice first blood right there, and they're trying to catch him and keep Hotshot down here.
I do it. Get that stack off if you can. He just gained that feast. They're going to get a good binding on it. Double hit on the binding. Will they be able to drop Elements? He goes down 100-0, and it's going to be a focus on Saint and Voidboy right now. CLG with so much movement over the middle part of that dragon area, and it looks like they push Voidboy out. The flag toss, not enough, but he does get the Q in to finish it off.
Stylish finish there from Chowster. It looked like a little stab to the back of the... So CLG, or Curse, actually engaged a 4-on-5 after they had already just lost Jackie pretty much only for some cooldowns for that feast and for that laser, and they paid for that. Now they're going to lose out on their blue buff as well. Saint doesn't want to let it go, though. They might even go in to contest this after.
That was a really scary fight, especially for Elements to be in so far. Oh, good shockwave going on to 3 members. Can he get the ball movement down? The cooldowns aren't there. They get double lift. Aframu surely going down here. A few bits of damage go in. Will he have to charge the flash over? And Aframu finds his way out stage left their glitter lance to keep him safe.
So they only got 1 kill there, but it was on one of the most important champions for CLG. It was on that double lift, and the only way to keep double lift from CSing is to keep him off the map. You put him in the graveyard, his screen is gray, he can finally stop CSing, because there's really no other way. He always manages to find CS somewhere on the map, as long as he's up.
We see Jarvan rushing health. Hotshot GG not going to be able to do that versus Voyboy in lane. He's already buying just straight magic resistance. Looks like he'll try to get a little bit in. He does have some AP on that Cho'Gath. He has 15, so I don't think he's going to fully go for a Geyser or anything, but he is trying to get himself some health. Maybe turn that into a Locket. Voyboy back to top lane, 41-43, so Voyboy has kept along with Hotshot and CS there. As we move down the line again, it's just kind of been a very even game in CS for every LCS game today, just off the start.
Yeah, and Curse actually have 2 people down bottom just last hitting here. Koppa's not shoving a wave. Sona's not really helping him shove a wave. They have 2 people on the bottom side, so that leaves the mid exposed. And CLG are jumping right on this. They're going to shove it up. They've got 4 people there. This is going to be a pretty easy objective. Now Elements is sort of rotating over, but it's going to be too little too late.
You can see all 3 of them kind of noticing a little late, and they're converging onto this mid area. Right when it gets taken down is that engagement. Will they decide to go in? It's not even taken down, and they go in. It's going to be Chaucer trying to flag toss out of his ultimate. Saint taking some good hits. I don't think it's going to proc all the way.
They have a nice wave clear here, though. They do have Aphromoo on the... Oh, and Link is even going to use his ultimate. They still want this turret. They can probably get it now. They have already forced out Saint, and that's going to be the global objective they were looking for.
That was a great hit. He had the minions, he had Nijaki, he had Elements. A great little push off for the turret. It's like watching Gragas, or Skara use Gragas ulti just to grab those objectives. They can do the same thing.
Plus, CLG have this deep ward. They've got a pink inside the blue buff here of Curse. So they're going to continue to look for those aggressive invades. And Chaucer really putting on that third threat jersey for CLG, it looks like.
Absolutely. We see Link rushing damage just like the AD carries here. A quick, needlessly large rod is his first buy. He even has a fairy charm in there as he realized he got a burst in money, and he was able to just go for the next item that he wanted instead of piecing together maybe a chalice first.
So it's interesting how Curse getting behind him gone with gold per 5 on Voyboy as well. They've got 2 Cage's Lucky picks here, and they're going for a little bit more of a late game comeback here, trying to get that money back where they can, because he knows that if he does meet someone in the solo lane like Hotshot over here, then he'll be fine regardless.
This is something we actually heard, Elements talking about before, is what's going on with the sight stones and whatnot. And it's a lot of wards for everybody right now. He says, I don't usually need to get those items if everybody's buying wards as well, and Curse feels like they're at that position. We see Nijaki pink it up, pinks and greens still. Pinks and greens coming in for Elements, and there were 3 wards going on as they get placed down by CLG as well, so a lot of wards. Vision is power.
Definitely words to live by in this game, but look how low. Okay, so that was a missed combo. I was just about to say, though, since Elements... no, he hit that. Since Elements has gone without that Sightstone, he's missing out on that little bit extra HP that a lot of the supports are getting from going that route, and against the CLG comp like that, if Link is able to land the combo, he can 100% Element. They've got a fairly bursty combo here, and there's a lot of range with Twitch with his ultimate. Chaucer can jump in. Elements is going to have to play this game very carefully.
I feel like Elements is either holding on to a lot of money or just being pushed into a position we don't usually see him piece things together. I've never really seen Elements have that type of build. It doesn't mean he's behind, but maybe he's just trying something different.
People always talk about how CLG performs so well in their scrims, but they choke on the tournament day. It looks like they're doing fine so far. We don't want to jinx them, but they haven't done it yet.
So a little discrepancy coming up in the CS now. 95 for Link in middle versus Nijaki. They took that turret and they've been able to pressure it. So Counter Logic Gaming definitely putting on the overall map pressure a lot more, being more omnipresent right now in the match, already 12 minutes in. And this is something we see come from them later. Hotshot isn't split pushing yet. He's sticking with the team.
Yeah, and Hotshot's picked up a very early Spirit Visage, which is an interesting item for Cho'Gath. You get that extra healing. His passive actually heals a lot. So in lane, whenever he kills minions, he's going to get a lot of health back. But the magic resistance, great against this Curse team. Not only do they have the double AP, basically a lot of AP coming out from Voyboy as well as Jackie, but like we said before, Varus, one of those AD carries that has a lot of mixed damage, and that percentage damage is magic as well.
You know, something interesting today that was in the EU LCS is Bjergsen was building nothing but pure power, no cooldown and whatnot on Orianna. I wonder if we'll start to see that, you know, spread into the NA LCS. It's just, it seems like the 80 carries are kind of doing it, where the APs follow and just forget about the cooldown and say damage, damage.
Voyboy, it looks like in answer to Hotshot, has finished a Morel and Nauticon. So though Hotshot went with the increased healing, Voyboy's got the answer for that with the AP. This is a very interesting item build for both top laners here. Looks like they're trying to do some counterplay with each other.
It's really one of those games where lanes definitely meant more to these guys just in the beginning, and now we're going to see those team fight items start to come into the builds. We'll see the auras start to come out. The Locket actually already finished on Saint. He loves that item, loved it when it first came out. It was his new go-to item because it really just gives the jungler everything you need.
It's very interesting because like there's not excessive healing on CLG. I mean, Afromu is playing a support that has a lot to do with shields. Link is playing an AP mid that has to do with shields. So Grievous Wounds doesn't really, won't really help them there. Trying to figure out, I guess he really likes that cooldown reduction on it, and just trying to lane against Hotshot.
We'll see what they can do. It looks like they're putting 2 with Hotshot top. They want to get this last turret down. They know it's just too much of a staple for Voyboy. He's pushing this lane way too much. He's caught up in CS. He was only down a few to Hotshot since he's been farming up as well. But they're going to thwart this and try to take it down, as it looks like Kerr's putting aggression mid as well. Yep,
the top turret still at full health, so it will take a bit. Voyboy a little bit unsure here, but he looks like he wants to go protect his turret, and Chauster taking this opportunity to get behind Jackie.
They kind of put everybody up top and then started just waltzing around. They weren't really able to get too much off of that, and they're not even going to get that top turret anymore. A little bit too much a spread on the focus. It looks like they wanted to do something, and then they just ended up not doing anything.
Yeah, a little bit of some backwards play here.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to go aggressive, just playing defensively. It was a tiny win for Curse because they did get that cooldown of the teleport out.
So we have cooldowns coming back up. Still a very slow game between these two teams. There have been quite a few back and forth, but really not the kills coming up. Everybody's testing the waters with abilities every time they come out. We see that Infinity Edge going in for Cop. The Infinity Edge already built for Double Lift, so he can start to sit on the outside of these fights. Are they ready to initiate, though? We do have that Null Magic coming out for Jarvan. He picks up 2 pink wards as well, so the pink ward's coming out everywhere.
This will be extremely exciting when these two teams do meet, because Link has gone full damage. He's got a Rabadon's Death Cap right now, and Double Lift has an Infinity Edge. So their 2 main threats are huge threats right now. They both have the biggest DPS items, and there's not a lot of health on many members of Curse. Like we said, Elements can just get 1 shot, right? Or he can get 1 comboed right now.
It's like a lot of these guys, you know, I just said it, and I should have looked at Link's. He did go for full damage like we were talking about in the EU LCS. So maybe he'll finish that Chalice when he gets the chance. Maybe he'll go for the Void Staff and just the Sork Boots to really put that pain down. Like you said, he can pretty much one-shot Elements if that catch comes in. Look at the pressure onto this turret now. A few pokes are going to be good for them. Everybody's going to get their hand in on this one. Voyboy in from the side here. He could get a good one. That's going to be 1. Do they get the Cocoon? He gets it on the flag toss. Can they continue onto this one? They're waiting for the Shockwave. St. Vicious, 1 more dive. They get it. She moves the ball, and everybody flashes out. Nyjack, he misses the ultimate there. Chauster's taking a bit too much. Hotshot doesn't have the rest of the team. Look how squishy the rest of CLG are, but they get off the burst they need, and the front end burst is just too much for Kurz. Turning around, Voyboy, 1 last hit. The passive proc auto attack from Lux coming in. It looks like they'll be able to finish off another one, and CLG turned that one around.
Flashing that Shockwave was gigantic because, like we said, not too much tankiness on either of the teams right now. You have to be able to dodge the damage. Nobody can really take it except for Hotshot. And they actually got a kill for St. Vicious while he was actually running away because of the burn on the red buff. And CLG want to take this opportunity to rush down a Baron. This is fairly dangerous, but Curse not really in the position to counter it because there's no vision inside of the pit.
So much damage is missed when you miss Shockwave, whether you've used Dissonance or not. Everybody's right on that ball. Everybody's right there for the next ball damage, and it just got 0 damage out of all of it. This is a lot of health getting taken away here. Chauster finally comes in. They get the smite, they get the feast. That can't be contested. It could have with the HP bars, but Curse is going to try to crawl back here with the Dragon.
I have to say, that was bold by Chaucer using his smite early, because the last time he got it stolen away. Crumbs made him look a little silly, and they had vision, so they knew that no members from Curse were around, but still, that's always a fairly risky play. They've got a Cho'Gath with true damage. I guess he felt like they had it in the bag.
Yep. We look around after the Baron goes down. CLG going to be very happy with that one, as Curse is kind of put in that pause position here. 3,000 gold behind. We do have finally Fiendish Codex coming out for Link, so he is going to start finishing that Chalice. As we look around, attack speed being built for double lift, but I'm not sure. I think he'll just turn that into the Phantom Dancer and really get that double item max damage you're getting from Infinity Edge Phantom Dancer crit. Look around, can't say it. I got D-banned. That's the first time it's ever happened. Morello Namicon going into Void Boy as he buys it, and he actually is getting himself up for potions as well, so he can sustain in whatever lane is left for him after this.
It looks like Jackie also trying to go full power here. He got that initially large rod, could go for that death cap. It just happens that he's a bit poorer than Link, so he's on the back foot. He's just trying to catch up.
Pushing down Midnight Jackie. He's saying, yeah, stop Link, I dare you, as Zin was just on the outside of that one. St. Vicious looking to pressure mid here with Night Jackie, but there's a lot of pressure top. Void Boy has had to have called for assistance by now. They're going to lose another turret here. That gold lead grows a little bit, and it looks like they're actually going to start pushing over. They may be able to catch Night Jackie here between the turret. Link has vision, tries to go for a bit of damage there. Looks like they're just going to put siege pressure on.
Yep, CLG doing a good job. They get another turret, some more global gold. They're making great use of this Baron buff. They rose it very early, and they're just taking so much money off of the back of that one call.
Well, it's not something you see a lot. Night Jackie's really the one bringing out the most of it. Cop can once he gets there, but there's not that much siege clear. Definitely not as much as the Anivia Nasus lineup we saw with Spirit Fire and Anivia Ultimate. So you can see, once CLG makes it to a turret, they're going to be able to get way more damage down in the trade.
So Jackie does have his death completed now. The next shockwave is going to be huge. If they're able to actually land it this time, maybe delivering it with a Saint Audacious Charge, putting the ball on him, and then comboing that with a shockwave, it would make the team fight so much better than the last one. They really have to land all of their abilities, because CLG just took a huge lead with that last Baron call.
You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see, and I wonder if it sticks on her, Void Boy go into repel form just within range of Orianna, repel into the middle of a fight, and just shockwave everybody out. It would be an unstoppable initiation. You may lose Void Boy, but you'll definitely take Counter Logic off guard.
Ooh, looks like we also have dual Infinity Edges. So both of the damage dealers have caught up here. The Baron buff just giving so much, though, to CLG. They've still got a quarter of the time left on that, so the regen going to help them with the siege. It's always so annoying. Even when you have a Sona on your team, you feel like going up against a team that has Baron buff, they're regenning just as much as you.
And just look what one wave allowed them to do in damage for the turret. Like I said, these trades super not in their favor here. That siege clear just isn't big enough. This is probably going to be the turret for them. They've got a lot of health on GG, and it looks like he's just actually going to run in here. They're going to get the damage on the turret without even the wave. They get a stick up there. Good shield onto St. Vicious. Will he dive back in for the shockwave? They grab a few members. Chaucer's in the middle, but he dives even farther to lock down the back line. Just completely helping the team. Double kill coming in. Like we said, double lift would be on the outside to clean up the fights on Twitch, and he is going to do that. A triple kill coming in as CLG pushes the inhibitor.
Yeah, CLG really were happy to take that engage, take down the turret at the same time. And I love just the Cataclysm, and the Hotshot put the Rupture right inside it. Those concentric circles just doing so much work.
I thought Chauster was going to be looking for the way out, but he completely dove into the back line. Very Kiwi Kid-esque of last game, but really it looks like Counter Logic has found their way back into the initiations. Strong team fights, and it's definitely the one we've been looking for since that relapse at MLG.
We also have the Aegis of the Legion completed, so Chaucer looking pretty good in those team fights. I like how he got, oh no, Elements, there it is! The combo!
So
game over.
Fast.
Oh, it's so sad. A lot of people are kind of superstitious, and they don't like, especially a lot of Koreans actually, they don't like playing Sona as their support because it says game over, so they don't play the arcade Sona skin. Oh. They want to stay away from that one because it bodes not too well there.
Well, it definitely showed pain. Elements in the death chamber waiting to get back up. He's got his sight stone. They have both been picked up. We actually see a Zeke's coming out as well for Afromu, so even just more in general the supports are grabbing up items. We've seen the Theans, we've seen the Zeeks today. Usually we just see them trying to continuously buy wards for their team.
Yeah, and even though we have St. Vicious working on his own Aegis of the Legion, Link's a step ahead. He's already got his Void Staff in place. He's got 40% penetration. He's just on a roll right now. He has no deaths. Those 8 assists actually stack up really well too, adding to his gold lead. So his Lux can definitely, just like we saw him do to Elements, make you pay for bad positioning.
And we've talked about this before multiple times, especially when somebody goes up against an Elise, because that's when it matters, is you look at Hotshot, and he has he has a Ruby in there, but has stayed away from health. He is just building that armor. He's building things that are not going to allow Voidboy to get that percentage damage off. So he completely built for the lane, and now he really is just becoming unkillable because you get to stack health with your ultimate.
Yeah, that's a patented Hotshot style. He's done that forever. He's confident in his ability to keep his 6 V stacks. He stacks those up early, and he's like, I'm not going to die because I'm building full tank. They probably won't focus me, so I can just build all of my resistances up. And he's got his 6 V stacks right now, giving him an extra 720 bonus health.
Absolutely. Double lift. Looks like he's going to go ahead and just play sneaky right now. He just doesn't want to be seen at all unless he's farming far away from the other team. He's the last one to enter and the last one to leave.
I like how Voidboy getting a little tanky now too, because he's been fairly squishy, not able to pull off his assassinations that he usually looks for. The Giant Spell going to help out a little bit, but he's still going to have to play it very carefully and use that repel to dodge some spells.
So they really need that St. Vicious initiation. I think it's really what's going to win him that fight. Like I said, it'd be awesome to see the Void Boy, but it's a little too all in for where Curse is at right now. 40,000 gold, as we haven't taken a look at it recently, to 32,000 gold. That 8,000 gold lead at 25 minutes is making an impact. It's about that time, 10-4, and the turrets are 7-2. And really, Chronologic has super slowed down here. Do you think this could affect the momentum they had?
Well, they're doing a good job right now baiting out Curse because they have the vision advantage, and there goes Chowster.
Voidboy onto 2. He's going to find them, but they're going to be able to close in from the right side now. You can see where CLG is trying to focus all of this attention. Voidboy in the back, keeping Cop at bay. Alpha Moon and Chowster going after Voidboy now. Hotshot Ken, he continuously get the last hit on the St. Vicious. A great command shockwave on 4 members of CLG, but is it going to be enough? No, it's going to be Jackie going down. Vicious and Voidboy have already fallen. Cop and Elements on the run. A double kill coming in for double lift. And Elements is just going to slowly walk away. We've seen what it's like to run an address. He gets the flash off, but Hotshot is just going to slowly be a gentleman and walk Elements home.
Oh, all the way home. Game over once again. That is why CLG have Hotshot on the tank. He zoned out the 3 most important members on Curse by himself. He didn't have to land. He was just AoE cone silence, and it looks like they're going to pick up the Baron off the back of this. Great job by Hotshot right there. Just being a beast and getting in the way of both Cop and Jackie, zoning them out of the fight until they had the time to burn down Saint and Voidboy.
So CLG putting themselves in a great spot that fight. I think Command Shockwave was used a little too late. It's almost like they engaged on too few people.
It was because Hotshot did such a great job zoning out Jackie. Jackie couldn't get in there to get the combo off. Saint and Voidboy did their thing. Like we talked about, they usually dive in. They dove in, but Hotshot was a one-man scary monster there, and he was able to keep everybody back off of it. So then Jackie used it a little late. Cop couldn't get in there, and they all fell apart.
And there's that confidence of Hotshot not thinking he's going to lose stacks. And that confidence just grew into an Oracle's as well. So he thinks he's good enough to sink 400 more gold into himself. And they're not going to lose that. They didn't even have the proc from the passive on that one. And they all are almost half health there of the squishy. St. Vicious obviously didn't take too much, so he's going to put himself in the fire here. He is going to be able to get some good damage down, either thwarting anything else to come from this push. There was a valiant attempt there.
CLG just looking so good right now. Off the back of a second free Baron, they are going to shove right up the middle. They also have the bottom inhibitor exposed. They don't even want to go for the turret. They'll just go get that free one. Then they can swing over and just demolish the rest of the base. They've got another 20 seconds without St. Vicious up.
A great composition just is not allowing the St. Vicious Nijackie dive command shockwave composition to happen for these guys. There we see Chowster locking up Nijackie. It's not going to happen again. They take him down instantly. Cop on the outside is shot 2 auto attacks, and he finds himself on the ground. A triple kill coming in now for double lift. Could he get the quadra? The quadra kill coming in. He finalizes. No, not the last one. Hotshot GG is going to get the inhibitor. That's not it, though. It's
Yeah,
St. Vicious.
St. Vicious
Still alive.
it was coming from the fountain. He wanted to give it, but not enough time there. Double lift showing that he's more than just the Vayne and Caitlyn that people have been pigeonholing him into. He's got Afromu as a support. Afromu maybe gave him a little nudge, you know, hey, that Twitch guy, he's pretty good.
Super duper good. It looks like Double Lift could be liking this pick here, and he was all eyes for St. Vicious after that quadra kill. He knew it. Hotshot focused on that inhibitor. I was so lost in the fight. I thought he was just like inside that big gath, and I couldn't even find him, but no. Saint was like, guys, remember I died for you just a few minutes ago? Stop dying.
That's going to be the whole base for Curse right now.
Oh, yeah.
And we still have an outer turret in the middle for CLG.
It's super amazing play. They have absolutely turned on the afterburners here. For them to come out and completely do this to Curse after we just said CLG on a 5-loss streak. That's not something you'd really tag on with the name CLG, but it has happened that way. And you know what? They were sick of it. They have really taken these past few weeks to kind of pull CLG back to where it was, and they're really coming out strong here. 50,000 to 36,000. You know, I said to you, it seems like they're in a lull, but you were right. They were ready for the fight, and they're playing this one smart. They weren't in a lull.
They definitely were having a hard time. You're right. That streak was very, very important to break right now, and they've come out strong. Now people are going to be looking at them again because this is Curse. Curse are at the top of the ladders. They are who everyone's gunning for, and CLG are making this look really easy.
Let's see what Link can do here as they push down. We've seen him just completely crushing these waves. One more goes down. Double Lift and them are going to make quick work of this one. And it, like I said, there's not enough siege. There is siege from Curse, but you can see each wave means so much damage on every turret right now. It really is a big factor. They have to stop something here, Kobe. The bindings go out. There's the final spark. That's going to be up quite quick for Link, as we can see it. Already a quarter cooled down. St. Vicious diving into the fight. Can they get the ball on it for the shockwave? He doesn't even get enough damage down there. Void Boy is the next focus. The crescendo to kind of just pause them after the kill. One after the other are going down. Cop might not even make it to the fountain. One last shot. The triple kill again going on to Double Lift after his quadra. They finalize the turrets and the Nexus.
Ooh, Cop letting 3 deaths go in that game. That's going to ruin his shining KDA. I'm sure that CLG are just like, oh, yes, that is the icing on top of the cake.